Hey guys, and welcome back to Dan's Pro Shop, where today we are continuing what is turning into a nice little build series here on this 2018 Harley Davidson Street Glide 115th Anniversary Edition. So, if you're a bike guy such as myself, you know that stock is never good enough. You can't just leave well enough alone. Whenever you get a new bike, there's a few key things that you usually do right out of the gate: handlebars, and exhaust. I feel like that's kind of the same thing as getting a vehicle. Windows and wheels create the attitude of a vehicle. You tint the windows, you get a nice set of wheels. Well, handlebars and exhaust is kind of the same thing for a bike. But let's say you've already done that. What's the next step? Where are we going from here? We are upgrading tins. We are replacing this front fender with a full wrap 19-inch perfectly paint matched fender from Hogworkz. Stick around, I'll show you just how easy this is. So guys, this fender, allow me to introduce you to the full wrap from Hogworkz. And I tell you, if you ever needed proof or evidence of how good Hogworkz quality is, this is like the pinnacle of difficult paint to match. Not only is this a denim, it's kind of matte and it's also kind of metallic and multicolor, but this bike is also a special edition. This is the 115th year anniversary, and this one just so happens to be number 1448 out of 1900. Special run limited edition. And Hogworkz absolutely crushed the color match. I mean, that is about as spot on as you're ever going to get. And to get a fender for your bike could not be more simple. You head on over to hogworkz.com, you type in your year, make, model of your machine, you pick the color that you want for your bike, and they have all of them. I mean, it's unreal how many different paint colors that they have. Then you pick the style of your fender, whether you want a shorty, a mid, a full wrap like this one, and also the size. This one happens to be for a 19-inch front wheel. And man, is this really going to change the way this thing looks. And they even have specific mounting adapters for these fenders, because if you notice, factory Harley Davidson fenders have these mounting brackets, but they are riveted onto the fender. They're two separate pieces, and you can see the rivets. It's not exactly sexy, you know what I mean? With the Hogworkz fender, this is all one piece of laser cut steel. So the mounting bracket is part of the fender. You don't have that ugly standout bracket with rivets like you get with the factory one. You can choose either chrome or black mounting adapters that would take up the space between this and your fork. So you don't have those ugly rivets and that weird bracket that sticks out. This is super clean, super flush. When it comes to actually doing the job, you couldn't ask for a more simple task. If you're doing this on an Ultra, you may have the light up here you have to contend with and do a little bit of wiring. But Street Glides, it's just a fender. We're talking 4 bolts out. Put the new one in, 4 bolts in. Let's do it. The first and primary tool we're going to need for this is a 1/4 inch Allen to take these bolts out of the original fender. Yep. These 2 bolts on either fork tube, take them all out. Just yank this thing out, set it on the bench. Now you guys can really get a good taste of how different these fenders are. I mean, not only are we getting rid of all the rivets and stuff like I already mentioned, but just look at the shape. I mean, this thing is sleek, it's round, it's low profile, it's narrow, it hugs the tire, it looks like it's part of the machine. This thing, it's square, it's bulky, it's a traditional street glide fender, which, I mean, it's not wrong, but it's not this either. Let's see this thing for the very first time. just set her on the tire for now. That is about where it's going to be, but about an inch and a half taller than that. Honey, hush. So now is where this mounting bracket kit comes into play. There's nothing to it. There's a couple spacers, like I mentioned. You choose black or chrome depending on your trim, and it's got supplied bolts in here. So you run the bolts through the same holes through the spacer and into the fender and capture it with an eye lock nut on the inside. There's nothing to it. We just thread this stuff in there, tighten it down. Front bolts in here, and we can use those to pivot up and get the rear. Like a glove. So here we are, almost completely installed. The only thing we have left to do is snug down the hardware. Now you're going to need a 6mm hex head and a 13mm wrench to capture the nut on the inside. We'll just go through, sequentially tighten them down, and that's that. And guys, that is it. You want to talk about the most quick, easy, simple, most insane change. I mean, yes, there's a whole bunch of different stuff we can do, but look how much this thing changed in a 2-minute project. And look at where we used to be and what we have now. Old and busted, new hotness. I mean, this hands down way better. So not only is the side profile awesome, you guys got to see it from up here. Look at how much this thing changed from this big giant Cadillac fender up here to this thing. It actually hugs the tire and follows the contour. It's just all around better. Really don't know what much more I can say about this thing. I mean, the looks do it all. Let's take a look at it. Man, you want to talk about a simple, fast, and easy way to completely change the attitude of your motorcycle? This one might be at the top of the list. So if you're interested in doing something like this for your bike, check out the links down in the description. Get on over to Hogworkz and check out what all they have. This is just a little bit. I mean, they offer freaking everything for your bike. This is just a little taste of what they can do, like be it lighting or body accessories. You can completely revamp your motorcycle through Hogworkz. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and that gives you that little nudge to spice up your ride. We'll see you next time.